This is Julian from Digital Desk Co-working. Thanks for turning up. I'm just going to do a little housekeeping here. We're using a product called Restream, so I'm just checking all the settings here. Streaming out on Facebook, Twitch, and hopefully next week we'll also be doing Instagram TV. I think the third show we're going to do every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. We'll go through all of our streams. So that'll be something to look forward to. So today we're looking at how to optimize your business week. We're going to do a personal branding workshop as well. So let me just press record here on OBS and we'll get going here. To open up Zoom here. Actually, we're good, I think. So usually I use a different piece of software. So today we're using Zoom. So I'm learning how to use that. So hopefully you guys are on chat window somewhere around here. If you have any questions, you can ask questions, Q&A. Well, let me just see if I can open up Facebook here, if the chat is working. I'll try and keep an eye on the chat here as well on Facebook. There you go. I can see some people popping up there. So I'll just wait a couple minutes and we'll get started in 2 seconds here. So just to give you a little preview. So originally this was a webinar that I ran a few years ago. So truth is I couldn't find the original slides, so I had to take some screenshots from a YouTube video. So some of the slides are a little blurry. I've tried to fix most of the slides that I could. But the good news is that next Thursday, 7 p.m. PST, the slides are a little cleaner and less blurry, but we'll get through it. The content's still the same. So again, just give me a minute here just to make sure everybody's online. Okay, I can see a couple people on Facebook. Let me just check out the YouTube stream here. That's looking good. And I've also thrown it down on Twitch. So let's just see if that's working as well. And then I'll probably just turn those off just so I don't take up too much bandwidth. So if you just want to put your questions into Zoom, I'll pop up the Zoom. Here's the link for Zoom. So you can just grab that right now if you want and log in with Zoom. So the format, I'm just going to go right into it and give the presentation. Usually take an hour and a half, but today I'm just going to do it in 60 minutes, maybe even shorter. And then at the end we can do some Q&A perhaps. So I'll stick around as long as I need to answer any questions you might have. And again, this is going to be something that we're going to be doing. So if you can just let your friends know, maybe share some of these links into your Facebook wall or Twitter or anything like that, that would be helpful. So just once again, this is the link here. So I'll put that in the Zoom chat window if I can. To be honest, I'm not sure where that goes, but anyway, you can see it on the screen there. Yeah, give me a shout if you... All right, so let's do it. Let's get into the presentation here. So how to optimize your business website. Again, this was a presentation I did a while ago. When I first started my company, I recorded a similar webinar to this, and I actually put it on autoplay every morning at 10 a.m. And amazingly, on the very first run, I got a new client. So the goal at the time was to create a webinar that's sort of 80% value, and the last 20% kind of pitch some of our services. And amazingly enough, on the very first run, we got one of our first clients. And so this is a repeat, and I've upgraded some of the slides, and I've obviously updated some of the information. And again, next week is going to be a personal branding workshop, and the week after that's to be seen, but probably some of the tools that we're using now that we're fully remote. So again, apologies, a couple of the slides are going to be a bit blurry, but we'll get through. This was the original cover. Again, I had to record these or screenshot them off a video I took. So first of all, thanks for turning up. That's great. Shows that you want to learn, shows that you want to keep moving. A lot of people are at home right now. Maybe it's a good time to look at your website. If you don't have a web, So this course is really for anyone who has a website, a business website, or is considering a business website. That's really the goal of this presentation. Again, I'm going to go pretty quickly here because usually this takes an hour and a half, so I'm just going to go real quick. But I will send all of these slides out to everyone. And also, if you have any questions, you can just email us at info@digitaldesks.ca. I'd be happy to answer them. And hopefully I'll figure out in a minute how to get some of your questions that pop up in the webinar window. So why do I have this slide? This is just a quick reminder that if you're not growing your company, it's basically dying, in my opinion. The market's always moving, there's more competition coming. So in a relative sense, if you're not growing your business and if you're not thinking about innovation, then you're stagnant and the market is moving and growing and competitors are growing. So really we're here to generate more revenue from your business website, more leads, basically execute more goals. So what are you going to learn today? I'm going to go through all the different steps that you should consider when you have a business website. So acquisition, where do you acquire relevant visitors from? How much do those cost to get? And then once they arrive on your website, how do you engage and retain those people? And then once you've engaged them and retained them for a set period of time, how can you convert them to various goals? That goal could be to buy something off an e-commerce site, could be a simple goal such as signing up for an email newsletter. It could be some other sort of sign up purchase or whatever. It could just be as simple as downloading some documentation. Sort of depends on what you're trying to sell, if it's a long sell or a quick sell, the dollar amount and whatnot. We're going to talk a little bit about anonymous web traffic versus identifiable traffic, and how you can basically start to identify individuals and personalize your marketing and whatnot. And of course, conversion. How can you convert non-paying web prospects or visitors to your website into high-paying customers? So basically, I like to do a sort of juxtaposition between the old way of doing things and the new way of doing things. So the old ways of doing things, kind of a broadcast approach, often attracting the wrong type of traffic. So, your analytics guy would come and say, look how much traffic we have on the website. It's fantastic. Well, if that traffic's not converting, it's really just taking up bandwidth. So you really want to be able to attract the right type of traffic for your business, for your product, for your service. You want to make sure that you always have the idea of conversion in your mind. So the old way was a wrong kind of traffic. It wasn't conversion focused. People sort of guessed what worked without really having data. So one of the big things I'm a proponent of is something called inbound marketing, which was started by an agency called HubSpot. As a quick side note, if you type into Google HubSpot resource library, they have some of the best resources that are available. That talk about inbound marketing. They talk about social media campaigns.